Welcome to the 12-month update of my Etsy shop selling digital products. And you guys, I made it. My shop finally turned 1 and I'm so happy and so grateful, even though I still have a long way to go in terms of my sales goal, but I'm just glad that I made it this far. You know, owning an Etsy shop for a year now has taught me a lot of lessons, taught me a lot of things that I never thought that I would learn, because growing up, I never saw myself starting and owning a business. It felt like it was not just for me, but here we are, and I'm also happy that I got to share this journey with you. Since I've already shared my first year journey of selling digital products on Etsy, I still want to keep that going because I still have goals to achieve, but with a slight change in what I share every month. I will not be removing information though, but instead I will be adding more information to hopefully make it impactful and insightful, or just maybe make it more a little bit interesting. I will talk about that later. For now, let's find out how much I made in my 12 months of selling digital products on Etsy. For the month of September, I made $71.60 in revenue, and to be honest with you, I really thought that I was gonna be making more last month. It wasn't until I was looking closely at the products that were sold, and the number one product that was selling a lot last month does not cost a lot, and on top of that I had sale promotion going on, and so it ended up not making more really. Now you're probably thinking, then you should not have a sale going on. Well, having a sale really attracts buyers. Am I disappointed? Just a little bit, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so for the number of visits, I had 521 number of visits and I made 21 orders and a conversion rate of 4%, which I believe is a little less than last month. We'll find that out later. Down here at the shopper stats, I had 53 favorites. I wish these were sales, you know. 1 shop follows, making it a total of 21 followers. I did have a new review and I'm so happy with that because it's always nice to, you know, have reviews or get reviews. It adds credibility to my shop. I reached 22 number of cities. Down here at how shoppers found me, Etsy brought 85% of visits, 258 from Etsy app and other Etsy pages, 170 from Etsy search, and 13 from Etsy marketing and SEO. For the number of visits that I brought, 15%, direct traffic 80, and social media Etsy ads 0. So this one is a little bit interesting for social media because this time I actually don't have any traffic, which is only right because I never share. I have not shared my Etsy listings from anywhere to any social media. That's the stats for September. Now we're gonna compare it to the stats in August. Before I share with you the stats comparison between September and August, let me just share with you the stats after almost 4 weeks since I changed my Etsy listing titles according to the new guidance. Okay, so I made the changes on September 3rd, and almost 4 weeks later, September 30, I got 486 number of visits, 19 number of orders, 3.9% conversion rate, and I made $64.62. And from this, I can tell that I had a positive experience when I changed my listing titles according to the new guidance. However, I do know that some people didn't have a positive experience with it. I wish I had an answer about why. I only have like theories, or maybe it could just be that the algorithm is just not doing its thing. The Etsy algorithm is not doing its thing. It could be like there's a lot of factors. Hopefully this will work out for you guys. I know there's been a mixed opinion about this because I am in multiple groups, and in this particular group they think that Etsy is doing this because not for the seller's best interest but for Etsy. But I feel like that would be also not good because then Etsy would start losing sellers, right? I don't think that's a good idea if they're just doing this for their own best interest and not for the sellers who are selling, you know? All right, so now let's compare the September stats to August. All right, so September number of visits, 521 total number of visits. In August, I got 567 number of visits. Number of orders, I got 21 number of orders. In September, 24 number. Oh, actually, it is higher. My August actually did well. Huh. So does that mean that the new guidance is not doing so great for my shop? Okay. Okay. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about, after October. But that's interesting that my August is actually higher than September. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, number of orders 21 in September, 24 in August. Conversion rate 4% in September, 4.2% in August. And revenue, I made $71.60 in September and $96.74 in August. Okay, I need to closely track this. Okay, that makes me worry a little bit. But I think it's just things are probably just starting to pick up. Because again, it takes almost 30 days for Etsy to kind of re-rank my listings again after I made changes. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes very well. Now let's recap my goals in September. I had a goal to add 20 new listings. I was able to add 15. So yay, that's nice. I was also being ambitious in terms of number of sales. I wanted to get to 230 sales, and unfortunately I ended the month with 219 number of sales. I also had a goal to find a new AI image generator. Even though I love Midjourney, especially what they can produce and the type and the quality of images they can produce, it is so great. I just don't like it that most of the time it does not generate a good image. I thought I'd give you a specific problem or problems that I face when I use Midjourney. So actually the problem depends on what type of clip art I'm trying to make. So let's say I want to create a pack. I just want a character, like one character, but I want that character to be doing different things. So it should be like the same look, the same dress, the same everything except the poses or the actions or the activities. I have that problem with Midjourney because it just generates a slightly different looking person with a totally different outfit or whatever. That's what I have trouble with Midjourney. I've learned to accept that it is what it is, but it would have been nice to get what you want. Another problem that I face with Midjourney as well is that when I want to create a person, especially if it shows the hands and the fingers, I think it has gotten better now, but it would give you sometimes the person has like 6 fingers or 4, or just the hand doesn't look right. I had days where I would spend hours just correcting the hands of a character. Yeah, those are the main 2 things that I face with Midjourney. It is still a great tool. So I found a new AI, and you probably have seen my video. I've already made videos about it, and that's Kittle. I have 2 videos of them that were sponsored, but that's because I really love it. I follow this YouTube creator who also sells on Etsy, and she uses Kittle, and I can see how every time it generates an image, it's almost a correct image. I don't know if the correct is the right term, but like most of the time it looks perfect. You can try Kittle this is not a sponsored video, this is not a sponsored part, this is just me truly loving the app or the tool, and I think I'm gonna keep using Kittle because of how amazing it is. Now we're gonna talk about that thing that I told you earlier in the video, and also my plans moving forward. First is getting to 1,000 sales. That's like my dream, is to get to 1,000 sales before my shop turns 2 next year, September 30, 2026. I already have a strategy on how I'm gonna get there. I've been thinking about ads, but since I'm selling clip art and they're not that expensive, I don't think running ads would be a great idea. That's the first goal, is to get to 1,000 sales before my shop turns 2. The second goal or plan that I have is to add a new product, and that is tumbler wraps. I just see that I think it can do well for me, though I initially had hesitation because with tumbler wrap it looks a little bit different, and I don't know, we'll see. I think it's gonna work though. We'll see what happens. I've seen tutorials. I'm not enrolled in any courses or anything in order to do this. I'm actually experimenting. I'm actually gonna do this by myself and try to figure this out by myself by looking at what other sellers are doing and how they're selling it. There's still a lot of research that has to go into creating a tumbler wrap, but I think I'd say 50% of it, I think I know how to do it. And third is really be ahead of the trend. In the first year of me doing Etsy, I'm just kind of like following people. Basically, I just want to be the first seller to be selling a trending product. Okay, so with all that plans and goals, let's talk about content. There's gonna be a slight change when it comes to the type of information I share. Since my goal is to get to 1,000 sales, I am still going to share with you a monthly update. So the standard, how much I made in this month, comparison to the previous month, and the third thing that I will add every month is compare that month to the previous year, and just to kind of see the difference between the two, since I've already passed the year, especially with quarter four being here, and I want to see how different it will look. Hopefully, you know, doing this will make the video or the monthly updates more interesting, and again, like I said, impactful and insightful. I gotta say, even after a year of selling on Etsy, I think I'm still barely scratching the surface and still have a lot to learn. And my hope is that you're gonna stay here for a while and watch as I try to reach those milestones. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!